Hello everyone, this is Foxcode here, and I've not made a StarCraft video in a long time, so I decided to do it today. Now, I apologise if I'm speaking too loud or too quietly, because as the more observant of you may notice, oh yeah, new headset, and the noise cancelling is kind of insane. I can barely hear myself talk, so I may have this completely wrong. It is the QH90 by QPad, I believe, goes for about £80 on Amazon, and I have to say, it's pretty cool. I think I prefer it to the Siberias that I used to have, but anyway, let's get to the game. Enough about the headset. This is a PvZ I just played, literally, 20 minutes ago? And we're just going to follow my player cam, and I'm going to show you the build. It's just the 2-base 4-gate that Naniwa came up with back in the day. Always still a Naniwa fan, even though he left us in a fit of rage against, I think it was Polt. So anyway, we're going to do a fairly normal opening, but we're going to go into something really aggressive. So we're going to open with the gateway on 13, gas on 14. We're going to get our expansion with the Zealot cancel, as we normally do. And then we're going to add 3 gateways at the natural to make a wall and to really put on the 4-gate pressure. Now, this only actually hits about a minute later than a 1-base 4-gate, so it's still really powerful, but it's not necessarily all in. If you do a little bit of damage, you can come back. You've still got lots of gateways for production, defense, and you can just tech up play as normal. So it's a pretty cool build. I've done it 2 or 3 times, and it's working actually surprisingly well. I'm going to keep doing this in my PvZ. I want to see how far it can go, because, well, to be honest, I think a lot of Zergs have worked out the Soul Train, the Immortal Zealot, that I was doing, so not wanting to macro against Swarm Host, because every time I do, I die, unless they're bad Swarm Host players and don't use static defense, but generally Swarm Host, nasty. I don't like getting in the late game against Zerg, so here we go, gateway on 13. And just remember, guys, this is a replay, so I'm not actually playing. I deserve a rest. I've just done this to 2 Zergs in a row. The first game didn't work. I made a mistake, and I'd actually like your opinions on this. I think with this attack, you should probably go for the natural. In the previous game, I attacked the Zerg's 3rd base. All he did was sack it, so he saved all the drones, saved the queen, and then he had a big army at his natural that I couldn't break. So my new strategy is go for the natural. Now, I actually macroed quite well at the start of this. I doubled up my workers pretty well. Got the rally into the gas. So macro-wise, I'm pretty much on point right now. Nothing's gone wrong. And I sent the scout out after I built the pylon on 16. And now we build the cyber core. So very, very standard. The scout timing, most people don't scout with a gateway opening. You don't have to, but I do like to. However, I do it later. With a Forge Fast Expand, I scout on 9. Every single time. 9 pylon, I scout for the cheese. If it's cheese, I wall off. But with a gateway opening, you don't necessarily have to do that. So, we're doing the usual Zealot cancel. I'll just put the production tab. So you can see the Zealot is up. Or halfway up. And I'm just scouting around looking for the 3rd base. Getting ready. Now, ideally, you cancel the Zealot at the last possible second in case Zerg decides to block you. So, we should see 300 minerals, Zealot cancelled, Nexus down, so that's what you want to do. Excellent. Now, we need to start Warp Gate fairly soon, but we still have to get the Mothership called. We saw the hatch timing. I'm not actually sure if it was a 14 pool or a hatch first. To me, it looked like a 14 pool. I could be wrong, though. I'm not going to look now, though. We're going to keep it on my player cam, so all you can see is what I can see here. So we don't have any extra information about what Zerg's doing. We know it's probably not a really aggressive opening, because the hatch was halfway done when we scouted it. And now we've got Warp Gate. Now, I could have Chrono Boosted that there, but there was an Overlord over the Warp Gate, over the Cybernetics core, so I didn't want to. I wanted to wait until the Overlord had gone, and I do have a Stalker coming up. My version of this build, you build 2 Stalkers around now. You don't have to, it just depends what version you're doing, but I think 2 Stalkers is good because it denies scouting it, and in the previous game, even though I didn't win, I sniped 2 Overlords early on, and that is really huge. If you do that, you're almost guaranteed to win if you play well. Though the last Zerg I played had really good macro, really good surrounds. He was just really on the ball with the multitasking, so he played pretty well. We talked about it after the game. Anyway, hopefully your scouting probe is still alive. If not, you'll have to send another one out on the map, and you want to be building your proxy pylon. And remember, we're going for the natural. Now, this Zerg, I'm not sure if he knows what I'm doing yet. Doesn't really matter. Now, don't go chrono boosting nexuses into probes. We want to still make 1 or 2 probes, but we don't want to chrono boost it. All the chrono boost is going to be on gateways, warp gate tech. We want to be attacking as quick as possible. So as soon as we've got the 2 stalkers in the core, we want to move out across the map and smash. It's such a good build. I love it. Okay, so the second stalker's coming up now. We're at 6 minutes. This is actually hitting a little bit late for me. I don't like this. I normally hit this at 6.5 minutes, so for some reason I'm quite late. I must have got one of those stalkers early or got my warp gate late, I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter too much. We're still on 2 base, we've got a nice strong economy, apart from we only have 1 gas geyser, which is a bit of a tell. That could either be this build. Now, I scout the Roach Warren, so he knows it's coming, but the Roach Warren was so, like, not quite finished. I decided I could go for that, and this was just ballsy. I want to know if that spot is always there on this map. I just noticed that is the coolest pylon placement ever for doing a 4-gate. So, my plan is to try and kill the Roach one, because if I can kill that, I can just make Zealots and win, quite simply. I don't quite get it. He does get a few Roaches, but only 4 or 5. He can't get many Roaches out at this point, so I was really happy. Now, it looks like I'm not doing much. I noticed the player camera on Observer doesn't seem to center on where I actually was in the game. See, I was stutter-stepping over there, but like crazy. So we have to stutter-step, but against slow lings, that's doable. Of course, if we had speed, he wouldn't have Roaches that early, so we'd probably have more Zealots. But we want to save as many Stalkers as possible, and we have to pull the Mothership Core back because it was dying, so there was some multitasking going on. I'm not just an A-move Protoss. And Zerg is dying quite happily, but he still has the 3rd base. This is the disadvantage. If you don't attack the 3rd base, he still has all 3 hatcheries for production, so there's quite a lot of lings out around the place. But, I mean, this still looks pretty devastating. Zerg's losing a lot of drones, a lot of economy. My Stalkers do get surrounded quite a bit. It's kind of hard to avoid on creep, but it's not the end of the world. Stalkers can actually kite against lings reasonably well, as long as there's not insane numbers. But anyway, about now, I decided I have to go for the 3rd base, can't let him have that extra lava. So, went and killed that. The Stalker, and it does survive. But of course, my attention misdirected, I lose everything here. But I mean, if we take a look at the workers killed, 13 drones killed, the economy is 10 in my favour, that's really good. So the only thing he's got in his favour, well, to be honest, nothing really. I mean, he does have 3 hatcheries, but I've got 4 gateways, and this is bad. Those Zealots should have been in there. Ooh, 270 APM, I was really struggling. Fairly simple. Now that is bad. Notice the Chrono Boost on my Nexus. I should have been Chrono Boosting gateways a little bit more. But I mean, it's a pretty awesome build, I think. Lots of Zerg don't scout it for some reason. I mean, I think it's one of the easiest Protoss builds to scout. You see the 3 gateways at the front, you know what it is. Now, yes, there was a Ling run by, but it doesn't matter. My natural can't die. I can just warp in. I don't care about my main anymore. I just need to kill him. That's my only goal. Just kill. I know he can't have much left. So I'm losing my main base. Don't really care about it. There's just so many Zealots there. Mothership Core, not microed at all, still on full energy. And we have a little bit of a run by here. Good tip. Use your probes to soak up a little bit of damage, but then mineral trick them so the Zealots can get in and finish the lings off. And that's it, guys. The game is won. So, the build order. Pylon at 9. You weren't expecting that. Gateway, 13. Gas, 14. 3 in gas as soon as it's done. Cybercore, 17 or 18, depending on your preference. I prefer 18. Some people prefer 17. It just depends what you're doing. When you get to 23 supply, if you can, you cancel a Zealot. That brings you down to 21, and it should put you up to 400 minerals. Build a Nexus. As soon as that's done, you want Mothership Core, Warp Gate, 2 Stalkers. Once you've got the minerals, 3 gateways, go! And just watch this replay back. I actually got the timings reasonably decent. Now, it won't work against everyone, but generally it's pretty good. I mean, 1 gate expand, getting the gateway before the expansion and getting Warp Gate in the core, is a very standard safe opening in PvEC. Nothing can really kill it, to be honest. Now, I probably wouldn't like to do this attack against a 2-basing Zerg. If I saw he was going 2-base, I might not attack. I might just get my gas and tech up. But hopefully it should be useful to you guys. And I'm going to end the video there because the upload rate, as usual, is shit here. Even though BT's been to fix it twice. Internet, thou, I hate you. So hopefully my next video won't be too far off, but work has been keeping me very busy. So hopefully you enjoyed this, guys, and see you next time.